In 2019, I lost my dad. He passed away at the age of 50 years old. So that was a tough time, you know. So I lost a lot of hope. I lost a lot of drive. I lost a lot of determination. Before that, I was a growing professional in my field. I'd spent years in the car business, and I was kind of working my way up through the ranks. But I decided that it was more important that I started drinking heavier than I was, than going and actually continuing my field and just being a productive member of society. So I started drinking pretty heavy. Before that, I was drinking, you know, probably 6 to 10 beers a night, which is still no small amount, but it's a lot smaller than where I got to. Whenever I stopped drinking, I was drinking about 3/5 a day. So it went downhill pretty quick. But anyway, when I was growing up, obviously my dad was a huge part of my life. I grew up playing baseball. He was always my coach. We grew up playing football. He was always our coach. Anytime we had any questions with schoolwork or anything at all, he was always there, and he was my dad, you know. So losing him it played a big factor in my life for a long time. I grew up loving bikes. I grew up riding bikes. I enjoyed them. But I actually ended up stopping riding bikes because I started drinking so heavily. So I'm getting ready to come up on my 3rd year sober, and I decided that before I stopped drinking, I wanted to ride bikes again. So my decision was, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ride bikes, but I'm not gonna do it until I get sober. I'm sure there's plenty of people in here that have probably ridden intoxicated. It's not easy, it's super dangerous, a whole lot of things. We could go super deep into that, but I'm probably not gonna do that right now. So I made the decision that I'm going to ride bikes again, but I'm not going to do it until I get sober. So May 18th, 2019 was the day, no, I lied to you, I'm sorry. May 18th, 21. Good God, I forgot. 22, 23, 24, 25. 22. May 18th, 2022 was the day that I decided that I was gonna stop drinking. So I ended up going to rehab, a whole lot of fun. Oh, it's a blast. If you ever get a chance to go, it's worth it. Ended up going to rehab, spent 30 days there, you know, did what I had to do. You know, of course I wasn't thinking about any of the things that I wanted to do whenever I got out, because I've been to rehab so many times before. And that was my problem, was I was just thinking like, oh, when I get out of here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do all this different stuff. And I went to rehab for, you know, a few days, got out, was gonna do all these different things, and just ended up drinking instead. So obviously this time was different. I needed to spend time working on myself and what I wanted to do inside this rehab facility, as opposed to what I wanted to do outside of the rehab facility. So anyway, did that, got out, spent a couple months at home, decided that I needed to, you know, go out and get another job, obviously. My beautiful fiance was very nice about the whole thing. She was like, just stay home for a little while. You're still not healthy. I understand you went for 30 days, but you're still not healthy. Which at the time I was like, I'm good, I'm ready to rock. And as it turns out, she was 100% right. I was not healthy at all. Anyway, I spent a couple months and I ended up getting back into the car business. I spent, you know, about 3-4 months in the car business, and I decided, you know what, I'm doing really well. I'm really having fun in the car business again. I think it's time that I do what I said I was gonna do. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy another motorcycle. So I ended up buying a motorcycle. Didn't really care for it too much, but it was a good starter motorcycle. I didn't know if I could still ride. I was like, dude, I have no idea if I can do this stuff. Well, I ended up buying that, rode it for a little while, replaced that, gave that to my fiance, ended up buying something different, and now, believe it or not, I actually have somehow convinced her to, you know, to ride with me. So I understand that there's a lot of things, there's a lot of whys as to why you want to do what you need to do to get sober. This was one of my most important whys was, you know, obviously my family, my career, my, you know, my work, all that stuff was important. But dude, I know it sounds stupid, but I really wanted to ride bikes again, man. But anyway, so that's a little bit about me.